The Depression of the 1930s pushed many Orillia-based businesses to the brink of bankruptcy. The town took possession of some businesses and factories for non-payment of taxes, and they loaned money to others to assist them through the rough period. The advent of World War II helped bring Orillia into another cycle of prosperity. Factories began to operate at full production levels, just as they had for the First Great War. During World War I, the production levels at Orillia factories was high and the quality was second to none. The Erastus Long Company was the envy of war production facilities all across Canada because of their unbelievable record of exceeding wartime production schedules. Factories in Orillia produced much-needed munitions for the Allies, and Otaco manufactured landing gears for the Mosquito bombers. Hunter boats on the Orillia waterfront produced the much-valued submarine hunter known as the Fairmile patrol boat. Unlike the aftermath of World War I, the second post-war era signaled a furious expansion of industry in the town of Orillia. Faralloy Canada had started up in Orillia in 1936, and post-war expansion saw it quickly become the second largest industry in town because of their unique technique of creating high-quality steel casting. The Erastus Long Company, with roots dating back to 1860, merged with the Dorr Oliver Company from Chicago, and they maintained their status as the largest company in Orillia. They were known globally for their production of mining equipment and sewage treatment components, in addition to other much-desired products. Haywood Wakefield opened for business in Orillia in 1921. Their first factory was located on West Street South, just south of Coburn Street. In 1947, they moved into their new plant on Atherley Road, located along the shore of Lake Couchiching. Some of the products they manufactured included baby carriages, prams, doll carriages, seating, and a popular line of wicker furniture. Haywood Wakefield was the largest producer of baby carriages in Canada, and the exceptional quality of their Lloyd baby carriages was well known globally.
Buchanan's made boat motors too. And we used to make the housing and the oil pans at that time, and aluminum. The 8-cylinder, my gosh, they were big pans like this, and it took 4 minutes to lift the top of the box off, or the coat mold to get that, and then we hated that. Especially that side we had, it's heartbreaking. You work about 2 hours at the mold and then just go to close it, and whap, this hand drops out, start over again. We made stuff for Peterborough, Timmins, Toronto. It's coming all in from different. And I've done a lot of work for Falroy. Well, Falroy's was all patterns I made for them. Like they'd give a wooden one, and then I'd make a aluminum pattern off it because the wooden wouldn't last too long because they pound that sand and wood would just fly. I kept bugging them. I says, one of these days I want to ride in the Fairmont. At that time they were quite particular who went on that course, making castings for them. And I was down there all the time taking castings, or they were up getting them. So they phoned me this day and they said, we're going for a test run. You want to come? Boy, I dropped everything so fast. And that was the biggest thrill. to stand up there in front of the boat and they're going around and that, the test run. And Dora Oliver was very good. They told me I wasn't charging enough. I said, Jack, you're not charging enough, I'll tell you. Well, I went in with nothing, came out with nothing, so what was the difference?
J.B. Tuttle started up the Tuttle Carriage Company to manufacture wagons and other specialized equipment for the Western Canadian market. The factory ventured into the automobile business in 1907 with the production of the Tuttle McIntyre, a two-cylinder air-cooled motorized buggy that retailed for $550. A fire destroyed the Tuttle plant on August 20th, 1909, and by September 18th of that same year, a new factory was under construction and completed on December 6th, 1909. The Tuttle Motor Company was formed in 1910, and one of their first vehicles was a four-cylinder car that sold for $1,500. By 1912, the price had escalated to $1,600. The motor company ran into financial difficulties by 1913, but the advent of World War I and subsequent manufacturing of ammunition for the war effort gave the Tuttle Company much-needed financial relief. Following the First Great War, the Tuttle Company went through many business transitions and eventually closed shop forever when the last remaining Tuttle family businessman was bought out in 1966. Otaco also continued to prosper and grow and produced much sought-after quality logging sleds and farming equipment. Otaco was one of the companies that the town had assisted with monetary aid during the Depression, and the faith the town had in their ultimate success was rewarded, and many hard-working Orillians were able to support their families through some very tough times.
Well, they made toys. You carry a lot of toys out of there. They still made arrows for the Mennonites that still use horses for ploughing. They used to make the ductile arrows, or like a triangular thing. And we used to carry wheels, we used to carry water pumps, lawn mowers, you name it. Another company made it out. And they even used to do it, we used to take lumber in there, they used to kiln dry it. They used to have a big kiln at the back, and they used to dry lumber at the back.
When you haul toys out of a tackle, what did they go to Eaton's or?
They used to go down to Eaton's. They used to have a big warehouse we used to go to where the Eaton Centre is now. There's a church, sits in the middle, it's lost in the middle of that. Well, right there was their main warehouse, and we used to get the toys in there.
Anywhere else, you remember?
Oh yes, I used to go to Hamilton. We used to go down, there used to be a rail headquarters down on Yonge Street, but that was the, I don't know if it's CNRCP, but that was their head shipping for all their stuff going west. So we used to go there quite a bit, some by down, as I said, by boat. Well, they also made, of course, the undercarriage for the Mosquito, which became, the only wooden aircraft actually built in the Second World War. It's a modern aircraft, but it was built of wood. But they made the undercarriages for those. I used mostly, I used it for the dambusters. That was the Mosquito.
When the United States Navy sent an expedition to the Antarctic during the period of 1955 to 1958, they used special heavy-duty sleds manufactured by Otaco. The sleds had a carrying capacity of up to 20 tons and were used to haul goods across the icy barrens. Otaco also manufactured sectional housing units called wanigans for the naval personnel and also for the storage of supplies. Otaco Orillia became the first non-American company to receive the U.S. Navy's Certificate of Merit for the design and manufacturing of specialized equipment for use by American armed forces.